Myself, Lithiya Dominic, Assistant Professor, Department of Animation and Graphic Design, MES College, Maramali.
Today we are going to discuss about the Gestalt theory principles that we should know as a designer. So Gestalt theory is a psychology concept that explains how people naturally organize and understand visual information. Instead of seeing individual parts, our brain groups them to see as a whole picture. Here, for example, when we see a circle made of dots, our mind connects these dots to see it as a circle. So here Gestalt theory focuses on these tendencies and helping the designers to create visuals that feel organized, clear, and easy to understand. So as short, we can say that these Gestalt principles are very important in a design because they helps to make these visuals clear and appealing. It helps us to find a design more easier to understand and make it more attractive. It gives a clarity, usability, and visually appealing, and also helps us to focus this kind of designs clearly. So let's move on to further details. So these are the Gestalt principles: proximity, closure, continuity, similarity, unity, symmetry. So it says that Gestalt is a psychology term which means unified whole, which was mainly developed by a German psychologist in 1920s. And these theories attempt to describe how people tend to organize visual elements into groups or unified wholes when certain principles are applied. So it says that the whole is greater than the sum of its part. So Gestalt theory mainly it means like the whole is greater than the sum of its part. These are the Gestalt principles: similarity, continuation, closure, proximity, figure and ground, symmetry. So first one is similarity. Similarity is like as it says similar. When objects look similar to one another, viewers will often see the individual elements as a part of a pattern or group. This effect can be used to create a single illustration, image, or message from a series of separate elements. Similarity between these different elements can be shape, color, size, texture, or value. So this is the example for similarity. As we can see that similar type of designs. Next one is continuation. Continuation is the principle through which the eye is drawn along a path. So we need a continuity. There should be something that follows our eye. So a line or curve, preferring to see a single continuous figure than separate lines. This can be used to point towards another element in the composition and is seen where a line is cut through one object, often in a curve, aligning perfectly with the secondary element. So these lines which shows a continuity. Also, when we do logos, we can create such kind of designs to give it a continuity. Next is closure. Closure is a common design technique that uses the human eye tendency to see closed shapes. Closure works where an object is incomplete or the interior space of an element is not fully closed, but the viewer perceives a complete shape by filling in the missing information. This technique is often associated with stenciled artwork, but is also closely associated with logo forms. So closure is commonly we have been using in logos, also posters. Here it is not closed by connected or closed by any type of lines. It tend to see as it is closed. These are the examples. So in these images, we can clearly find that this squares is not just drawn with the lines. It's been closure in our eyes. Next one is proximity. Proximity uses the close arrangement of elements to create a group association between those objects. If individual elements are also similar, they will tend to be preserved as a single whole, even though they are separate elements. This is also known as grouping. So, when few elements are kept together, they form a group. Figure on ground. This principle describes the eye's tendency to see and separate objects from their surrounding background. A classical example for this is vase and candlestick illustration to show two faces peering at each other. But you can also see this effect in a variety of logo designs. It works because human eyes wants to see the figure, which is the foreground object, and the background ground object as two different planes of focus. So this is its example. As we can see, there is a vase as well as two faces. So this is a background image and this is a foreground image. So these techniques can be also used in logos. So these are the few examples shown in logos and posters. This is one of the poster work where we can see the gun as well as a face on the foreground. And the next one is symmetry and order. This principle says that a composition should not provide a sense of disorder or imbalance, as otherwise the viewer will waste time trying to locate the missing element or fix the problem rather than focusing on the message or instruction. So every design should be at least symmetrical or should be asymmetrical but should be balanced with some other elements. So this is an example for symmetry. So these are the main principles of Gestalt theory. I hope you understood. Thank you.